Hello and welcome to the Torah Outreach Program, Erev Shabbos Burst of Inspiration. Today's Burst of Inspiration is sponsored by the Braunschweiger family in honor of the Bodkins family. Thank you very much, and in honor of the Torah Outreach Program. Also sponsored as a source for Esther Naomi Bas Nava Zahava, wife of a Chayal who came back from Miluim, who fought in Gaza, who fought in Lebanon, is now home, and his wife, B'Shat Tov Mitzlachas, should have an easy Leda, an easy birth. I want to start off with do a little bit off the norm. In the entire Sefer Shmot, Sefer Bereshis, the entire book of Bereshis, the book that talks about our avos, our forefathers, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and the Shvatim, the tribes, 12 sons of Yaakov. I mentioned many times how it's based, the book is based on tests, withstanding and overcoming tests. One of the last ones, and maybe even one of the greatest ones, Yosef is sold down to Egypt, 17 years old, separated from his entire family and everything that he was taught. No one looking over his shoulder to make sure he did the right thing, that he acted like a proper Jewish teenager. And he's in the middle of the most decadent, immoral society of the time. And his mistress takes a liking to him, constantly pushing him and trying to seduce him. And when he's gotten to the end of his rope, he's done, his reserve of self-control is at its end. Instead of giving up, it says, V'yazel bigdo biyada, she grabbed him by his coat, tried to pull him into her bed. He slipped out of his coat and left his coat with her. V'yanos v'yetzi achutza, and he ran. He went outside. Couldn't take it anymore. So he used the last of his willpower and ran away. Okay. Why am I doing that now? That was Sefer Bereshis. Now we're in Shabbos, a whole different book, whole different generation, whole different situation. Jewish people in this week's Parshas Beshalach are leaving Egypt. One of the things they did, Moshe himself did, was he took the casket that Yosef was in. Because before Yosef died, he gave an order to his brothers and his children that they should pass this on to generations, that when they come out of Egypt, they should take his body with them. So Moshe did. And they get to the Yam Suf. They get to the Red Sea. The entire Egyptian army is coming down on them from behind, from the sides, from the mountains. In front of them is the Red Sea, and there's nowhere to go. And we all know the rest of the story. Sea split, and the Jewish people crossed. But King David, wrote in Tehillim, and we say this whenever we say Hallel. Vayar hayam vayanos. And the sea saw, and it fled. pni, it split. Also, a strange word, that's the same word that we use in Parshas Beshalach when Yosef ran away. Interesting. Now the word vanos, fled. The word nes, miracle. And the word nisayon, test. And also the word nes, flag, all coming from the same shorish, the same root. Hebrew, unlike our Lashon HaKodesh, Holy Tongue, the ancient Hebrew, unlike every other language in the world, has nothing arbitrary. Everything is logical. How these words connect. So, also anything written in the Torah and in Tehillim, logical. So why are we told that the sea fled? Same word that Yosef used, well, we used for Yosef when he fled from the wife of Potiphar. Same word as nes, a miracle. Same word as nes, a plague. And same shoresh root as nisayon and test. It says in another place, in Tehillim, nes means noses. A flag in order to be risen above. Rise above. What is a test? There's different types of tests. In school you get a bechina, which means a written test. But sometimes but in life we get nisyonot, which means tests. Something to, same shorish, same root, rise above the norm. Show our mettle. Not metal you wore, but a metal made of. Show our greatness. Show what we can do. Go above and to accomplish more than we think. That's what he's saying. That's Vinyanos Yetziachusa. That's Yosef, who ran away. He was being tested, and what did he do? He rose above it. He ran away. In that merit, he deserved to do something that rose above it. Rose above nature. What is a miracle? A miracle, Hebrew word nes, is rise above nature. Everything is God's will. So what's the difference between something that we call a miracle or something that we call natural? Simple. What we call natural is the way the world works. The day to day, the sun rises, the sun sets, the world takes 24 hours to turn around on its axis, the sea doesn't split. Natural. But when Hashem goes against those rules, changes the rules that he put into place, he rises above it. He pushes something above it. Nes. Miraculous. Greater than the norm. How did the Jewish people deserve something greater than the norm? Because their forefather, who was lying in a casket in front of the Jewish people, did something above the norm. He ran away from his natural tendency and desire as a 17-year-old kid. He did something above the norm. He did something against his nature. The Jewish people, in his merit, did something against, or had something done for them that was against nature. The sea split. Raya Hayam, and the sea saw the Yanos, and it fled. It gave back what Yosef gave in. What Yosef protected himself from his natural desires. Went above the mida keneged mida, you get what's coming to you. He was able to give over to the Jewish people coming out of Egypt in his merit. We want miracles. We need miracles. What does Hashem want from us? To withstand our desires. To overcome those things, not that we need, but those things that we want, that we desire, that we need, that we're pushed to do. When we can overcome that, we deserve Hashem overcome, so to speak, the natural way of the world.